What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, it's time to put our tinfoil hats back on. All right, that's what we do around here. And let me say, first off, yeah, we're definitely going to be digging pretty deep here in terms of theories, okay? But either way, we're doing it, because that's what we do around here. We're going to do it. All right, Wes Keltner, CEO of Gun Media, co-founder of Friday the 13th, the game. You know him, you love him, great fella, tweeted a brand new picture and said motion capture hits different when virtual, #GameDev, and alongside this, he shared a picture, which is exactly what he said. This is a virtual motion capture situation that he now has to participate in because of the ongoing pandemic. Now, he did confirm, he said, hey, just to chill my TL, yes, this is for the next project. No, it's not for F13. So now we gotta start guessing things. All right. So when we last talked about Gun Media's next project, we talked about whether or not they're gonna do motion capture, and this definitely confirms that they are. But you know, this is cool. And seeing them do motion capture, it says kind of what stages they are at this next game. If you look at Friday the 13th, the game, when they did motion capture, they were about a year and a half out from release. Who knows what that means in terms of this? Who knows what developer they're working with and how fast they work? That's not really what I want to talk about here. I was probably going to make a video on this regardless because this is a cool situation. We see things actually happening with Gun's next game. This is kind of the first time we've actually seen it in work. Now, we've heard about it being worked on. This is the first time we've actually seen it being worked on. But there is a part of this picture that is very, very interesting to me, and even more so because no one else has even noticed it yet or commented on it yet, but because we got our tinfoil hats on, I'm going to point it out. In the top left corner of this picture, if you zoom in, of course, you got some people working on their computers, but there's this fella standing here. This fella seems to be wearing a motion capture suit, and I'm not even going to say seems to me, that person definitely, 98% sure, is wearing a motion capture suit. So we can assume that at the very least, that is a mocap actor who is on the set for Gun Media's next project. But the more I look at that person, the more I think I know that person. I think, and again, tinfoil hats here, I think that's Kane Hodder. Okay? Kane Hodder, of course, played Jason Friday the 13th, Part 7 through 10. He did the motion capture for Friday the 13th, the game. Is he doing motion capture for Gun Media's next project? Now, we know it's not a Friday the 13th game. We know it's not a Friday the 13th sequel. They're moving on. They're doing something else. Now, if we're assuming that this next game is a horror IP, a licensed game, it kind of, if that's Kane Hodder, that shrinks the window down a little bit on what this game could be. If you ask me, that pretty much takes Nightmare on Elm Street out of the equation. Maybe Kane, again, assuming that's Kane, maybe he is doing mocap for a non-horror character. Perhaps he's just a regular actor in this. Perhaps he's playing a protagonist character rather than an antagonist character, which is very possible. I don't really think that's why you'd want to bring Kane Hodder in to do mocap. There's a million people that could do that. Why bring in an expensive fella like Kane unless he's playing a killer again? Now, if Kane is playing a killer, again, I have to reiterate this, assuming that that's Kane. Tinfoil hats here, folks. Just bear with me. Assuming that's Kane, I think there are two, maybe three, but probably two main options on the table being Kane Hodder. One, Halloween, okay? Now, I don't think Kane would be my go-to for getting mocap of Michael Myers, but we know that Kane has always wanted to play Michael. He said it many times before. If there was one icon he could play in a movie, and I'm sure he would settle for a video game, would be Michael Myers. So, who better to fulfill that wish than Gun Media themselves? Obviously, they're good friends now, so to bring him in to do mocap for an iconic character that he's never really gotten to play before, he technically has in a short with Adam Green, but has never really gotten to be that character, this could be a great opportunity for him to do that. Now, TCM. On that side of things, it makes even more sense. Kane Hodder has actually stepped in the role of Leatherface before is a stunt man, as a stunt Leatherface. So for him to come back, reprise that role, if you can't have Gunnar Hansen because he has passed away, why not take the big horror icon that is Kane Hodder and toss him into a TCM game? After that, it gets a little tough. I don't even know what horror IP could really fit Kane Hodder's movements. You could argue Pinhead, but why? You could, it's not going to be anything that's past 2000s. It's definitely not going to be Scream in that case. He's not going to be Ghostface. So I don't know what other horror IPs really fit the movement of Kane Hodder. That said, perhaps this is an original game. Although we've been assuming it's a horror IP, and it seems, if I was guessing, I still think it's probably a horror IP, but there's a chance it's an original game. And if it's an original game, perhaps he's just playing an original killer that is just straight out of Gunn's head, and that'd be just as cool as well, having Kane Hodder step in and make a character. Of course, there is the option of Hatchet. Hatchet being one of the options would be really cool. I don't see the reason I didn't really bring that up initially. Hatchet doesn't really seem to be this, it wouldn't be the big seller that is those other horror IPs. Gunn has mentioned in the past that they got a lot of offers, big, small offers of horror IPs to do games on. And, if you have all these offers on the table, why take Hatchet, which is a little more cult, a little more niche, and you probably go with a bigger horror IP that you can make a lot more money off of. Of course, Gunn is very passionate, and they put a lot of love into these types of games. But at the end of the day, this is a business, and you gotta make money. And these horror IPs, like that of Halloween, like that of TCM and Nightmare on Elm Street, those are the big money makers. So that would probably be the route I would go. Of course, seeing a video game Victor Crowley, that would be great. And Kane Hodder doing the mocap for that, of course, makes the most sense. You really can't do it any other way. I don't know, man. I'm back to like 2016 right now, 2015, and just putting our tinfoil hats on and guessing and thinking, what's next? What are they doing with this game before we even have a clue what it is? So just like I'm doing right now, overanalyzing things like we do, I want you to do the same. What do you think the game is? Do you think that's Kane Hodder? I can't be the only one that thinks that. Man, it just really looks like him to me. That stature, the uptight shoulders, the arms out. I mean, I don't know. It makes sense to me that it would be Kane, but who really knows? But hey, that's my thoughts. I'm sorry I'm rambling. I'm just excited. I get excited about these kind of things. I'll keep you updated on all things Gun Media and future projects related. I'm pretty excited. All right, that's going to wrap this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.